Chapter 2: Folk and Popular Cultures. Culture could be divided into material and non-material. Material culture is the culture which is physical and the objects are tangible, like cooking utensil, furniture, clothing, etc. Non-material culture includes beliefs, values, tales, songs, superstitions, etc. So in other words, material culture is something which we can see, and non-material culture is something which we cannot see. So any culture, whether it's folk or popular or any subculture, would actually have material and non-material culture. Culture can be divided into folk and popular based on the way of life. Well, folk could be material and non-material, as well popular also could be divided into material and non-material. Folk culture is small culture, meaning lesser number of people. Cohesive culture, they are very close to each other. Almost self-sufficient culture. Often they are isolated. They have very strong family structure. They have less relation but many personal relation. That means whatever relation they have, majority of them are personal. People are more attached to physical environment because their dependency on physical environment is very high, and it lacks organized division of labor as well individualism. Folk culture falls under the category of folk geography, which is the study of spatial patterns and ecology of these traditional groups. Whereas popular culture is dynamic culture based in a large area with a very heterogeneous society. The characteristic of popular culture is completely different than that of folk culture. Folk culture does not really get out and reach people, whereas popular culture tends to reach to other people, other area. Popular culture is the culture of mass production and mass consumption, or the people in this culture has many relation but very few personal relation. Popular culture goes by very weak family structure, as well believes in cash economy and doesn't believe in subsistence or barter economy. Mass media is very important in popular culture, as well people are highly mobile. It believes in secular institutions of authority like police, army, court, etc. Very important role of innovation in popular culture, as well higher degree of division of labor and very strong individualism. So popular culture is generated from concentrated mainly in heterogeneous urban area. So this is actually opposite of that of folk culture. Popular culture also sometimes used to describe as mass culture. However, there is a basic difference between the two, especially looked into by the experts. Popular culture is generally used to describe a common set of cultural ideas, values, and practices that are consumed by a population, whereas mass culture usually refers more specifically to a form of culture that is produced, distributed, and marketed through mass media, art, and other forms of communication. So media or mass media has much stronger role in mass culture as compared to popular culture. When we look closer into formal cultural region, we begin to see that differences appear along many things like gender, ethnicity, etc. Sometimes groups within a dominant culture become distinctive enough that we label them as subcultures. Well, example could be back in 70s hippie culture. These can be the result of resistance to the dominant culture or of a distinct religious, ethnic, or national group forming an enclave community within a larger culture. So major categorization is actually folk and popular, and within folk and popular we might get subcultures. So we will go by folk and popular cultural region, folk and popular cultural diffusion, folk and popular ecology, folk and popular interaction, and folk and popular landscape.